I talked about this before on my page, but we're going to run it back. Let's talk about working multiple contracts at the same time. But before we do that, I want y'all to know that I am just another person on Al Gore's internet sharing their experience and their hot take. It is your responsibility to 1, fact check, and 2, take what applies. So eat the meat and spit out the bones. Now, before you do multiple contracts, you need to ask yourself why. Why do you want to work multiple contracts? And the reason I start with this question is because I don't think it's something that you should be doing long term. Because working multiple contracts still requires you to do the work. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. You can literally burn out and now you're not useful anywhere. So for me, I do multiple contracts based off what I need and my goals. Right now, I have a goal of knocking out a significant amount of consumer debt. Working multiple contracts will help me do that. I have a goal for saving up for a condo. Multiple contracts will help me do that. The next thing would be to look at your schedule to see if you can even have another contract. That means, are you so busy during the day that you can't take another contract that allows you to work during the same time frame? Would you need to work a contract that is after this job ends or before this job starts? Like, what does your schedule look like? Do you have a lot of meetings all day? Are you doing a lot of work all day? You may not be able to have another contract. But if you can, then I advise you to go look at your actual contract, like the contract that you signed for this role, right? To see what's the language around working multiple contracts. A lot of companies are fully aware that you're providing your services to multiple people. And then there's companies where it's like, nah, not right here. Another thing is to make sure that whatever contracts you're trying to work, that they are not competitors of each other. So I think in the original video in which I talked about working multiple contracts, like you cannot work for PlayStation and Xbox at the same time. They're competitors. And there's language in there that's like, you can't even work for my competitor for at least a year after you stop working for me. So read the fine print. Now, when we talk about my experience working multiple contracts, it's a lot of work. I do experience burnout and I keep my mind fixated on the goal. Because one project management role, I may have like 2, maybe 3 meetings a day. If that, I don't even think I'd be having that much. But then another role, that might take 4 meetings a day, or that might take 3 meetings a day. And then now look at that. My entire day has turned into meeting central. And it gets burnt out because I know a lot of people think that project managers, we're just setting up meetings, right? But there's a lot of energy in facilitating a meeting. There's a lot of energy in working behind the scenes and making sure things are operating the way that it should. And then if you're at one job managing 8 projects, and then now you're at another job managing another 8, that's 16 projects you are managing, a whole bunch of different people you're talking to, a lot more extra work in managing your schedule, managing the tasks, prioritizing things, and making sure things don't slip through the cracks. So now something that was an easy, laid-back job for you turned into madness really fast. This is why I said I don't think this is something that you should be doing long-term, because it can get overwhelming really fast. As far as securing the contracts, it was really employers reaching out to me. Or should I say recruiters? Same thing. And this is why I think everyone should always stay marketable, because you never know what type of opportunities will land in your inbox. And you'd be surprised how many contracts actually extend for a longer term. I spoke to y'all at the end of 2023 telling y'all that I was working a marketing PM contract that was about like 3 or so months, right? Well, they extended the contract. We fucking got them.